Welcome to the Creative Soul Healing Podcast. Here we talk about the connection between creativity and healing, and how we are creative and how creativity helps us heal mentally, physically, and emotionally. Join us now. Hi everyone, Larissa Russell of Creative You Healing, and today I have with me Lynn Carey. Dr. Lynn Carey earned a doctorate in chiropractic and a bachelor's degree in nutrition from Life University. She owned a practice in Wilmington, Delaware for 18 years and has traveled to Brazil and India. Dr. Carey loves empowering others to create their desired life of health, wealth, and perfect self-expression. Today, she lives in Miami Beach, where she stays busy pursuing her entrepreneurial dreams and homeschooling her teenage son. So welcome, Lynn.
Thank you so much, Larissa, for having me. It's an honor to be here.
I am so happy to have you and so grateful for your flexibility, because it seems like there's been so many things, but I appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and what's brought you to where you are now?
I guess the crust of it started just when I was a teenager. I was diagnosed with scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine. And I just went the straight medical route, ended up having a spinal surgery when I was 15, and they put Harrington rods in my spine to straighten it. And I never had any problems before, except that I looked a little crooked on my waistline and had a bump in my back. But afterwards, I was left sick and in pain for years, which they never correlated to the surgeries. They never had an answer for me except giving me another prescription, whether it was an antibiotic or a painkiller, and nothing really worked. So it was just kind of this on and off series of getting more depressed and not feeling very well. Then I was in college just trying to find myself. Someone told me to look into the profession of chiropractic, and I read the pamphlet that said the power that made the body heals the body. And I thought, why hasn't anyone said this to me? And during all the stuff I was going through all these years. And I didn't even get it adjusted. I just went to chiropractic school on that philosophy, and it was like ignorance is bliss. I just went, and it changed my life. It was the beginning of my journey.
Yeah. I have to say, chiropractic work, I have friends who are absolutely, yeah, let's do that. And other ones are like, absolutely not. I'm in the camp of absolutely. If I can get myself adjusted in alignment, I'm all about alignment and all of those things. But also the other health benefits. I find that chiropractors tend more towards like the holistic health as opposed to our medical system, which is so much rooted in the let's just fix this initial one problem. We don't care how it started. We don't care where it came from. We're just going to fix this and worry about the next thing later, which causes so many problems. On your healing journey, have you found that, like I said, people are maybe questioning what you do and how you do it, but when you start to help people, how has that experience shifted what you do and how you sort of show up?
I'm always questioning why, even for myself. I'm very self-reflective on how I'm feeling and why, on how I got to here, what made me worse, what made me better, how do I feel better? And I saw this as a pattern with people. I saw for myself, when I'm more stressed, I don't feel as well. So, in my healing, when I lost the fear that I could actually get better or that I wouldn't get better, I lost that fear, I started to heal. A lot of all these mental and emotional states were part of it. And then when I was in practice, I really saw that people's lifestyle contributed to their well-being. And I know it sounds cliche, like you can understand like diet and exercise, but what I saw was people really not living their purpose, not living their passion, not enough time, not enough money, how it dictated everything they did in life, and how people were just running around, not really present with themselves or being happy. That's why I shared my story in my book, My Journey to Grace. The subtitle is Shattering Mainstream Illusions and Creating Your Desired Life. I saw how important it was to create your desired life, because your podcast is all about creativity, right?
Mm.
And some people look at it as just whether you're an artist or a writer or a musician, but really we are the artist of our life. We really are here to follow those inner passions, those inner creativities, no matter what it looks like, those inspirations. That's your soul living its purpose. And that is your immune system. I saw the correlation to that. I saw when people were truly happy and living fully, they cleared out really quick. The adjustment, it was just wellness. But other people, if they were stuck in a chronic state of whatever symptom it was, whether it was pain or a disease, whatever, it was because there was something out of balance in their life, and that was their body's way to communicate, hey, there's more to this going on here. I need to pay attention. And I don't think a lot of people connected those dots.
Oh, I absolutely believe that. And that leads to the question, and I think you partially answered it here. What does healing with creativity mean to you? Can you elaborate on that?
I think it's one of the most important things you can do, whether you are, people understand being an artist, right? Or being a writer, something like that, that's an actual physical. But really, everything we do in life, we are creative beings. We are here to create our divine reality, to create our heaven on earth. And these impulses that we have inside of us that give you inspiration, that give you joy, and it doesn't have to be drastic. It could be little things like taking a walk outside, or having a conversation with a friend who inspires you, or reading the book that inspires you. It's all these things, even as something as simple as like taking a pottery class, if that calls to you, that nourishes your soul. That is your healing. That's how you heal, by following these impulses. Because whether it's a disease you're healing, or depression, or just trying to heal your life, like those divine impulses of creativity or inspiration is really what's going to help you flourish. It's going to guide you. Because if you can learn to follow that, it's not always easy, right? Because I think sometimes we're not always oriented to take those things seriously, or they're not important. And at least I was raised that way. You just got to work hard, got to suffer, got to do all these things. But really, that's what's destroying us. That's what's causing dis-ease, because we're not following these creative impulses.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that one. Healing with creativity is what I do. And I often speak about the fact that creativity is in everything we do. It's not just painting a masterpiece or writing a best-selling book, all of those things. It's literally in all the things we do. But if we are not enjoying our life, if we are not doing the things that make us happy, it doesn't matter how much we go to the gym or we eat well, we're still going to have the same health issues, because the whole is what we have to look at. And so I just love that message that you have. And you talked a little bit about your book. Can you tell us a little bit more about your book?
Mhm. I really wanted to just share my story on how I learned to heal myself, because I thought we all learn by each other's stories. I think if one person can do it, oh, if she can do it, maybe I can do it. Gives you hope. It gives you another perspective. It gives you the courage to say, it can be done. So that's really what I came from, is just sharing how all the years of pain and suffering, and it wasn't an overnight thing. It was more years until I feel like pain free, or really felt healthy. It was a long journey of uncovering things. And then I go into how I'm creating my desired life, from having my grace experience, where I really went into like a bliss state of awareness, higher consciousness, which I believe that is our natural state trying to come through, our God source trying to, I think that's what we're all reaching for. And we tap into it. Like, I can be in the zone when I'm adjusting people. There's a zone there. You can be in the zone when you're painting a picture, right? That zone, the athlete can be in the zone when they're playing the game. That zone is the God state. We can actually learn to be in that place, in moment to moment in our daily lives. And it's not that we won't have contrast coming through where we feel negative stuff. That's okay, because that's how we create. But the problem is with humanity is we gotten stuck in those lower vibrations of suffering, and it's like no pain, no gain. Well, I'm here to say that's killing us. Like, we are here to tap into the God state and create from this place of joy and freedom and ease. I really believe that's the shift that's happening right now, I think, in our society. But that's what I've discovered for myself. And that's what I shared in my book, how I did it physically in my health, and then how I kind of extended it to raising my son, to my entrepreneurial endeavors, and my relationships and mindset.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's so important to, and I think all of the pieces start to fall into place when you start to pay attention, especially as women, because we have been taught that we're not important, that we don't know what we're talking about, that we don't have a voice or shouldn't use our voice. And the more that we start to pay attention to that and start to awaken to our abilities, we can step into those things that are our purpose. And then all the pieces start to fall into place. We start to look after ourselves more. We start to eat better. We start to exercise more. And without all the pieces, you're out of balance all the time. So bringing it all into alignment. Do you have any tips or one thing that you would say is like a good starting point for somebody who's like listening to this and wondering, what do I do? What do I do?
You hit on a couple things there I wanted to say. All those different areas of life affect each other. We always want to compartmentalize everything, but everything affects each other. So it's all a whole. So that's why you can't really ignore one aspect, because one aspect will fall into the other aspect. Like if you hate your job, it's going to eventually affect your health. And I think we have to acknowledge that our happiness and our joy and self-care and things like that are important. I think that's what I had to learn. Like it is okay to take the time to do these things for yourself, because it's going to make you a better person in all of the other areas, whether you're a mom, a wife, or whatever areas, your profession, whatever it is, you're going to be more effective in it, and you're going to be more present and more purposeful, and your energy is going to raise, which of course raises the collective consciousness. I always tell people, like, this is something simple you can do. I'm big on journaling. I'm a big journaler. I love to write lists. But I think there's something about putting pen to paper. I think it's very healing for the brain. It starts to give you a different perspective and taps into the creativity. I think one place you can ask yourself a question if you don't know where to start: are you living your desired life? Yes or no. In what areas are you? You can write it down. What areas aren't you? And so maybe they're the places that you start. And where are you not? And some people don't know what they want. Some people know what they want. I think they're afraid to admit it because they think it's too out of reach. But I say just acknowledge it, that that's what you want. Write it down, because now you opened up the window for the universe to show you guidance to get there. Maybe baby steps. You don't realize how one thing leads to another. That's one place to start. Another thing you can journal is just making lists of things you appreciate, like a gratitude list. Small things like you enjoyed your walk today, or you had a great conversation with somebody. Things like that, because it starts to orient you to things that are lifting up your spirit, because we're always kind of programmed to look at the problems and what's wrong, and what we need to fix. I'm guilty of that, but like we just need to reorient what's right, because then we're going to attract more of what's right and more ideas in that vibrational alignment.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm a huge proponent of journaling. We have it in all our programs. I have a morning program where we journal every single day. And absolutely, I think it's so important that we start to dig under. Not only are you putting it down on paper, and I think handwriting as opposed to typing is really important for that connection, but also to slowing down, right? We slow down more when we handwrite, and we can make that connection. But when we put things on paper, whether we read it again or not, it opens up and expands. It allows the universe to know what you want. It allows the things that you want to look at and work through. It gives them life so that you can actually face it. It's not hidden in a back corner somewhere. I absolutely agree with that. I love that. Yeah.
Can I share a little bit? I'm a big journaler. I've been journaling since I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just something that was soothing to me. And now I realize I like to reflect on my day. And before, I would write about like issues. I would complain when I was younger. Then I started doing my gratitude list in my early 20s when I opened my practice. And I realized, okay, I have a gratitude journal, I have a regular journal, but my vibrations started to become so different that I didn't need to complain like that. I didn't need to journal the complaints anymore. I could just write about all the things that went right in my day. I kind of combined the two. And that's been such a source. And like I said, whether I reread it or not, I can reflect on the day of all the things that went right. And just sometimes you feel like time goes so quick. It's just that moment. For me, it's in the evening or before I go to bed, where I can reflect on the day and what I did, just to be present with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Gratitude journal. I've been years and years gratitude. Every night I do my gratitude. And I think it really does change that vibration, because it puts you in that awareness of what you have as opposed to what you lack.
Right.
I love using journaling prompts. And this is what I do in my morning program, to start to look at things we might be not even aware of. And I think that's really important too. For my own journaling every day, I'm more of an intuitive journaler. I ask questions and wait for the answers, and journal that way to open that dialogue with spirit, so that I can feel like I'm moving in the direction that I need to be moving in, as opposed to fighting it all the time, which I'm really good at. just really want to be more present in my life. And so I find that journaling really helps with that. Really helps.
I agree. That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
love that. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here today. Is there any final thoughts or anything that we haven't discussed you want to make sure people know before we go today?
I don't think so. I just think follow your happiness. It's really more important than you think. It really is about opening up that life force in your body. And that's the chiropractic message is the life force is the power that's always running your body. It's always healing it. When you're happy, you're turning it on at 100%. That's what I would do as an adjustment, right? To clear any interference in the life force. It can run your body properly and optimally. But when you learn to be happy and clear your mindset and clear the stress, you're really optimizing your whole body function.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for that. And you have a free 15-minute consultation on creating
Yeah.
a desired life. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about that?
Yep. My website is creatingmydesiredlife.com. You can go on there. You can find my book. You can also just ask me a question, or you can sign up. You email me that you just tell me you want to have a 15-minute consult. I do healthy habits coaching sessions or creating another stream of income business mentorship programs too.
Perfect. Well, we will make sure to put the link there as well. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Larissa. It was an honor.
To our listeners, we will see you again next time. And in the meantime, I wish for you amazingly creative days.
Calling all adventurous women. Have you been feeling lost and disconnected from your feminine energy? Are you seeking inner peace, clarity, and intuition? Then it's time to awaken your feminine energy and explore the power of reflection. Join us on a journey of self-discovery and uncover the beauty of your inner self. Awaken your feminine energy and connect with your creativity, intuition, and soul.
Thank you for listening. If you found our podcast of interest, we'd love for you to leave a review wherever you listen in.